Your dog is not stubborn. You might just be triggering the wrong part of their biology. Today we are putting two of the most powerful working breeds on Earth head to head. The Belgian Malinois versus the German Shepherd. Stamina versus strategy. Raw, unstoppable drive versus methodical, ice-cold problem solving. These are not just two different dogs. These are two completely different biological systems. And by the end of this video, you are going to understand exactly why training one like the other is one of the most common and most costly mistakes any handler can make. Let's find out which breed's evolutionary blueprint reigns supreme. Everything you are about to see comes from canine behavioral research, working dog biology, and the real patterns that professional handlers encounter every single day with these two breeds. And stay until the end, because the final section is the one that is going to tell you exactly which of these dogs belongs in your life and which one would genuinely break you. Let's go. Section 1. The metabolic engine versus the cognitive anchor. Before we run a single test, we need to understand what we are actually comparing here. Because this is not just about which dog is faster or stronger. This is about two completely different biological philosophies. The Belgian Malinois is a metabolic engine. This dog was developed in Belgium as a herding breed that needed to move, constantly, for hours, without slowing down. The Malinois body is built around fast-twitch muscle fibers, the same type of muscle that powers sprinters and explosive athletes. These fibers fire fast, and they fire hard. And the Malinois nervous system feeds them with a continuous drip of adrenaline that most dogs simply do not produce at the same level. The result is a dog that does not have an obvious off switch. Movement is not just something the Malinois enjoys. Movement is how this dog regulates itself, how it thinks, how it processes the world. Take the movement away, and something starts to go wrong almost immediately. The German Shepherd is a cognitive anchor, developed as a versatile farm and herding dog that needed to make complex, independent decisions across varied terrain and varied tasks. The German Shepherd brain evolved differently, less wired for pure output, more wired for assessment, strategy, and systematic execution. This dog does not just react to what is in front of it, it reads the whole situation first. Think of it like this. The Malinois is a sports car with the engine always running hot. The German Shepherd is a navigation system that calculates the best route before it ever leaves the driveway. Both are extraordinary. But they are extraordinary in ways that require completely different things from the humans working with them. Section 2. Kinetic persistence and the Malinois drive. Here is what makes the Malinois genuinely unlike anything most people have experienced in a dog. Inside the Malinois brain, there is a neurological loop that most breeds simply do not have running at the same intensity. Movement triggers reward signals. Reward signals demand more movement. More movement triggers more reward signals. The loop does not naturally close, it just keeps running. This is why Malinois handlers talk about a dog that seems physically impossible to tire out. You throw the ball, the dog brings it back. You throw it again, the dog comes back faster. An hour in the dog is not slowing down, it is speeding up. Because every successful repetition is feeding the loop rather than satisfying it. In a working context, this is an almost supernatural asset. A Malinois on a task does not experience the mental fatigue that slows other breeds down. As long as the task involves movement and drive-based reward, this dog will outwork almost anything on four legs. But here is where it gets interesting. Ask that same dog to be still. Ask it to wait quietly while a situation develops. Ask it to hold a position while a handler thinks through a complex problem. And suddenly, the most physically capable dog in the room becomes the most difficult one to manage. Because stillness is not in the loop. Nuance is not in the loop. The Malinois biology was not built for pause. It was built for go. And a handler who does not understand this will spend enormous amounts of energy fighting the dog's nature instead of working with it. Section 3. The German Shepherd's spatial logic and strategy. Now let's put the German Shepherd in the same room and watch something completely different happen. Give a German Shepherd a complex environment to search, and it does not just run through it at full speed hoping to cover ground fast enough. It maps, it works methodically, corner to corner, zone to zone, building a mental picture of the space as it moves through it, and using that picture to direct where it goes next. Researchers studying canine search patterns found that German Shepherds consistently demonstrate what they call structured spatial logic, the ability to recognize which areas have already been covered and redirect efficiently without handler instruction. This is not trained behavior in the dogs studied. It is instinctive problem solving expressing itself. And then there is the pause and process moment. Every experienced German Shepherd handler knows this one. The dog hits a problem it has not encountered before, and instead of throwing more energy at it, the dog stops, looks, thinks, and then tries something new. That pause drives Malinois handlers crazy. It looks like hesitation. It looks like the dog is unsure, but it is not hesitation at all. It is the German Shepherd doing something the Malinois genuinely struggles with: impulse control in the service of better decision-making. Think of it like the difference between a student who writes the first answer that comes to mind and a student who reads the whole question twice before picking up the pen. One is faster, one is more often right. And in high-stakes, working situations, being right matters more than being fast. Hold on, because what we are about to cover is the section that professional handlers say is the most important thing they ever learned about these two breeds: how each dog responds when things go wrong. Because that moment, the failure moment, reveals everything about the biology underneath. Do not go anywhere. Real quick, if this is already making you see these breeds in a completely new way, hit the like button right now. It genuinely helps more handlers and dog owners find this video. Now back to the pressure test. Section 4, stress response and problem solving under pressure. This is where the real difference shows up. Not in the easy tasks, in the hard ones. Put a Malinois in a high-stakes situation where the first approach does not work, where the task is not resolving the way the dog expected. Watch what happens. The Malinois does not slow down and reassess. It speeds up. It applies more of the same energy to the same problem with more intensity. This is the kinetic push through the biological default of a drive-based system hitting an obstacle. More output, more speed, more force. Because in the Malinois experience, more has almost always worked before. In many situations, this is exactly the right response. Persistence wins. Drive wins. The problem gets solved through sheer kinetic pressure. But in situations that require a different approach, a quieter approach, a more patient approach, the Malinois can hit what handlers call the burnout point. The moment where the dog has pushed hard, the problem has not resolved, and the system that was designed for constant output starts showing its limits. The dog gets frantic, unfocused. It starts making mistakes it would not normally make because the loop that drives it is now working against it. The German Shepherd under the same pressure does something different. When the first approach fails, the German Shepherd pulls back. Not in defeat, in recalibration. It looks for the structural workaround, the alternative path, the angle the problem has that has not been tried yet. And because this dog has a higher natural threshold for impulse control, it can stay in that recalibration space longer without falling apart. The German Shepherd burnout point is different. It is not frantic energy, it is withdrawal. A cerebral dog pushed too hard with physical repetition and not enough cognitive engagement starts to disengage. Not dramatically, quietly. And a handler who does not recognize the difference between a German Shepherd that is thinking and a German Shepherd that has checked out will miss it entirely. Knowing which dog you have and knowing which pressure response to watch for is the difference between a handler who gets the best out of their dog and one who wonders why their training stopped working. Section 5. Aligning training with biological reality. So what do you actually do with all of this? Because both of these breeds are extraordinary, but extraordinary in ways that demand very specific things from the people working with them. For the Malinois, the training system needs to be built around high repetition, movement-based drills with drive rewards at the center of everything. Short, sharp sessions, fast feedback loops, clear, immediate reward for correct output. This dog does not need you to explain the task. It needs you to make the task feel like the most exciting thing that has ever happened. What you must never do with a Malinois is slow the session down into long explanatory sequences. This dog does not process through stillness. It processes through movement. Long pauses and repeated verbal instructions do not teach a Malinois. They frustrate it, and a frustrated Malinois is not a learning one. For the German Shepherd, the training system needs to be built around complex problem sets with genuine cognitive load, tasks that require the dog to think through multiple steps, environments that change and demand environmental reading, rewards that come from solving, not just from moving. What you must never do with a German Shepherd is lean on heavy physical correction as a primary training tool. This is a thinking dog, a cerebral dog. Physical pressure without cognitive framework does not sharpen a German Shepherd. It shuts it down. It disconnects the very system that makes this breed so valuable. And here is the framework for choosing between them. If your lifestyle is high intensity, physically active, driven by output and speed, and you want a dog that matches that energy and then raises it, the Malinois is your dog. But only if you are genuinely ready. This breed does not compromise. It does not meet you halfway. You come to it fully prepared, or you struggle every single day. If your work or lifestyle requires careful decision-making, environmental reading, and a dog that stays reliable under complex and varied conditions, the German Shepherd is your match. It will think alongside you in a way that feels less like handling an animal and more like working with a partner. Both answers are right, but only one of them is right for you specifically. Here is what I want you to walk away with today. Neither of these dogs is better. Neither is smarter. Neither is tougher. They are just different in ways that run all the way down to the biological root of who they are. The Malinois that will not stop moving is not broken. It is perfect for the right person. The German Shepherd that pauses before it acts is not slow. It is doing something remarkable for the right person. The question was never which breed reigns supreme. The question was always, which breed reigns supreme for you? And now you have everything you need to answer that honestly. Which one are you, a Malinois person or a German Shepherd person? Tell me in the comments right now. I genuinely want to know which one you connected with watching this. And if you own one of these breeds, type Mal or GSD in the comments. Let's see which side of this community is bigger. Hit like if this changed how you understand your dog. Subscribe because next video we are covering the 7 training mistakes that handlers make with high drive breeds that silently destroy months of progress. You do not want to miss that one. I will see you there.